Let's go. All right, here we go. Here.
18, take one, Mark.
It's movie time at the El Sleazo.
Buddy, you're a little bit too elevated for the screen.
Elevated? What do you mean elevated?
Tall. You're too tall.
Too tall? What do you mean too tall? I mean, tall people just deal with tall situations every day.
I don't know what you want me to tell you, man. You're too tall for the camera. Audience can't see.
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to bend over the entire video?
Well, just hunker down or something.
No. I'm not catering to you and your needs because the audience can't see me on the screen. You know what the audience can do? The audience can kiss my tall, elevated. Okay, just raise the camera or something. Jesus, I mean, you think somebody would make a freaking film about this one day? I'm done. That'll be the day. Tall Girls, directed by Nzinga Stewart, hope I got that right, and stars Ava Michelle, Griffin Gluck, Sabrina Carpenter, and Luke Eisner. And it's the story of Jody, a 6'1.5" high schooler who's always felt uncomfortable in her own skin, but after years of slouching, being made fun of, and avoiding attention at all costs, Jody's confidence stands even taller when a new foreign exchange student arrives in town and changes Jody's life forever. Or do I say Yodi? I don't really... Well, if you know, you know. So as a lot of you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of Netflix movies. I find a lot of them to be very repetitive, very poorly written movies that support that quantity over quality tactic that they decided to go with. But I like to keep up with things, you know? I like to keep the public informed, such as you watching this video, but most importantly, I mean, somebody's got to hold these streaming giants, pun intended, accountable. So this brings me to Tall Girl, a movie I saw that was advertised all over LA. It looked interesting to me, it looked appealing, those mean the same things. But most of all, the reason I wanted to see this movie is because I can relate. I'm 5'10". Okay, there's not a lot of elevated folk out there like me. And it's hard being tall. It's hard being the tall boy. I can't even do this anymore. Let's just get on with this thing. So let's start here. Let's start with the cast. I really enjoyed the cast, except for maybe one or two choices, but I really enjoyed the chemistry of the cast most of all. I felt that shine through the most, and I thought it was really good. I specifically loved Ava Michelle and Griffin Gluck in this movie. By the way, that guy's last name has got to be a product of someone just saying good luck really, really fast. You tried it. I bet you tried it. Anyway, Ava and Griffin stole the show for me throughout the duration of the movie. Both had high caliber acting, both had unreal chemistry with each other, and both did something that is so hard to do throughout movie or TV on any scale, and that's to have the audience rooting for you. Not very many characters can do that, and as a viewer, you're consistently rooting for them to come out on top, pun intended, by the end of the movie. Something I really love in this movie, and it's definitely one of its strong points, and I think it nailed it, is how relatable this movie is. Not only for people like 5'10" me, who are outrageously tall, but who, you know, for people who have been stamped with an identity, whether it's in school, work, or whatever your situation is. And that's another reason Ava Michelle could carry this movie. She's lived this her entire life, which makes all of the things she's saying, all the things she's feeling, her emotions, all 100% raw and true, which makes not only her character easier to relate to when she's acting, but also as an audience member, it's easier for us to grasp onto a character like that. But just finishing my cast on the thoughts on the cast here. I thought Sabrina Carpenter was also outstanding here, brought a lot of great energy to the movie, and I enjoyed the cast as a whole. But I will say watching it through twice, because I have seen it twice now, but watching it through a second time really allowed me to latch onto the characters even more, rather than just some characters, you know, thrown on the screen. I think a lot of viewers, especially the younger viewers, will definitely latch onto these characters, and I could definitely see them bringing back a second movie or even a third and making it into a franchise. This movie also has some definite musical and singing glimpses throughout the movie, where I could definitely see this moving forward into Jody Yodi's college years, or even doing a musical in the next year of high school. Let me, by the way, touch on this Jody Yodi thing. The exchange student that comes into the movie is from Sweden. So then, of course, every time he says Jody, the dude says, I see your J, I'll raise you a Y. So then he just does his own freaking thing with the name. Oh, Dunkers, I was hoping I could talk to you about Jody. I'm Invar Kruger. Unlike a lot of other Netflix movies, I really enjoyed the writing here. Most everything was natural, and for the most part, the screenplay was fine, but what really stood out to me was the overall construction of the story and the nuances throughout the movie. I mean, usually I sit back and I find about 3 or 4 glaring plot holes that are so big you could almost fit Kim Kardashian's hips through it. Whoa, Jesus, that was bad. And lastly, for what this movie is, I thought the energy and overall feel of the movie when I was done watching was really positive. There's not really much to hate from this movie, and if you are, you're just kind of going out of your way to. I mean, it has everything you want in a feel-good movie that has the possibility to expand another movie. There was emotion, the cast was great, there was actually funny parts that made me laugh. I mean, even the singing was well done. But the biggest problem for me right now and what's going on in the movie community and reviewing this movie is people are not really taking it for what it is. It's not Schindler's List, okay? It's not It's not contending to be an Oscar award-winning movie. Know the target audience. Know the point of the movie and for who this movie's for. It's for kids who might be struggling with identity issues, for a younger audience that also parents can enjoy this movie too. So though I didn't have a lot of problems with the movie, there definitely are some. With this, of course, being a Netflix movie and trying to tackle the everlasting problem of how high schoolers actually talk, I felt the dialogue and screenplay could have been a little bit tightened up, but that's on the screenplay side. I thought the overall writing of the movie, like I said earlier, was actually pretty good. There was surprisingly a lot of gorgeous shots in this movie that I really actually wanted more of. It felt a little inconsistent, almost like the director forgot that she could do these shots and then she would bring back some well-framed shot and really cool look, and then just would forget about it again. Because, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of shots in this movie that suggest it could be a very indie type of feel movie with the cinematography that it was using, and I was like, ooh, I dig that. And then it just went back to the standard Netflix shots for another 20, 25 minutes. But like I said, at this point, it's really just me nitpicking and looking for, you know, bad things to say. But I did have one problem throughout the movie that kind of stuck out at me a bit, and even though I like the concept of it, I felt that Stieg, the foreign exchange student, did not need to be a foreign exchange student. He did not need to be from Sweden. The movie did not revolve around him being Swedish. There just wasn't really anything that justified him being from a different country. I mean, he could have just been the exchange student from Washington or Calgary or something. I mean, it didn't really matter where he came from. It had nothing to do with the story. But what it did do is it gave an actor from Wisconsin the duty of taking on a Swedish accent, which made his acting a little spotty because of the fake Swedish accent, and if that makes sense. But honestly, I can't be too mad because it did give me the ability to say Yodi Jodi at any point in time. Had I not seen the movie, I would have not known those pairings of words existed, which makes me a happy boy. It makes me a happy, tall boy. I've always wondered how it'd feel to be overweight or be tall and blatantly read a script that makes fun of your character for your physical appearance. Like Yodi Jodi reading the script as a 73-inch tall girl and reads, and then Kimmy Stitcher says to Jody, "Hey, I loved you in Jack and the Beanstalk. What does a tall person do when they see an airplane coming? Duck. What's a tall person's worst fear? Ceiling fans." The book Yodi Jodi's reading in a room is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, which coincidentally came out around the same time as this movie, in case you wanted to know. The actor who played Stieg the Swede, the foreign exchange student Luke Eisner, actually has a band of his own. It's called Stieg and the Sweden. I'm all on board for the sequel. Okay, so how about this for the title of the second movie? Too Tall. Brilliant. And then for the third movie, we can call it... Oh, no, that's already out. Shoot. You might have heard of it. It's called Godzilla King of the Monsters. Oh, that's so bad. So all in all, guys, I really enjoyed this movie, and I think a lot of you will too. It's on Netflix right now if you guys want to go check that out, and I would definitely be interested in a sequel or series. I would definitely recommend this movie, and for what it is and what it strived to achieve, I really had a good time with this movie. And you betcha, I've got high expectations for the next one. Pun intended. Tall Girl was a good movie, and I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. As always, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like below. Let's try to get this video to 20 likes. Comment below your favorite Netflix movie if you've seen Tall Girl, if you haven't, if you want to, if you don't. If you have, yeah, please subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell for notifications. And as always, guys, for everything good, great, and okay, I'll see you in the next one.